Hey everybody, Nick Green here. Just want to talk a little bit about some research I've been looking at as it relates to the pandemic and obesity. So just to kind of preface it, we know that there's many risk factors when it comes into living a healthy life. So when we're looking at our age here over time, there's going to be a point in time when we all kick the bucket, and how we manage all these risks along the way is going to really determine how good of a life that we live. So, really, everything is about reducing risk. Now you can really, insert any article that you choose. So we know that obesity is correlated with an early death because it's associated with cardiovascular disease, heart attacks, all that not fun stuff. So we got that, right? Second or third piece here, you can pick really kind of any study. I just picked out this mock article from 2019. I'll have it in the notes here. Is that exercise is going to reduce mortality, cardiovascular disease. You can really pick any article again, and how this is measured. You look at a hazard ratio. So once you engage in some type of high activity, these numbers go down, which is good, right? So far, so good. Three points there: reducing risk, obesity, exercise. But now I came across an interesting article that's must be popping up again on the feeds. Is that back in 2009 when we had H1N1, I have N1H1 here, and H1N1, looking at obesity. When you're looking at that study here from 2009, interesting piece is that there's higher risk factors, which were kind of similar to these over here. Is that when you have a BMI above 40 and above 45, your odds or your risk of certain diseases, your odds of having complications from H1N1 were almost 3 times here and 4 times here, depending on your BMI. So if you had a lower BMI, your health outcomes were better. All right, so that's where we go there. We're bringing up that article because our current pandemic, again, I'm not a medical doctor, it's all related to this, pulmonary lung breathing functions, right? So now we enter into the research today. We see that with obesity and COVID-19, just early studies here, we know that BMI, this Lochlainne study, 2020, found that BMI greater than 30, what's considered obesity, is a predictor of COVID-19. And these ratios here, these risks are that 1.2 to 1.4. So again, I'm throwing a lot of numbers at you. You just have to think about what activities, what behaviors you engage in that could increase any type of risk. And we all have risk. We walk outside the door. We do, we smoke cigarettes. We, drink alcohol, right? There's risks associated with, all of these health behaviors, but now everything's kind of magnified because we're all, we're in lockdown. So, if anything, is there a race to kind of reduce obesity? There could be, because it could be associated with longer term, improved health outcomes. So, last piece here, why is this relevant to us? Well, if we look at the United States, these are data from the CDC, little goofy formatting here. Figure 4 in the CDC data here is that we see obesity, defined as BMI above, what was this? I lost my, it was a BMI above 30, 42% of United States population, and then 9.2% are severely obese, so above 40 here, BMI, and here we have above 30. So again, right, 1 out of 40%. So 2 out of 5 of us obese, higher risk factors. So we have all these correlates that kind of go together. Again, these type of risk factor data with the H1N1, those data are going to come out in a couple months, right? We're going to, we'll have a better frame here, but we know early on things are predictors. So just kind of looking at the main points, we want to reduce the risk. What do we know? How do we reduce the risk? Exercise, eating well, right? Things are kind of magnified when it comes to these infectious diseases. And early on, I think it's important to, look at how, Say we all do get some type of infection down the future. It's really going to be what are the odds that, our body that we've prepared for that infection is going to fight it off and we'll live to see another day. So just food for thought. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think and keep moving.